Good afternoon and welcome to the Crawdads Streaming Network for this presentation between the visiting Walnut Creek Crawdads and the Menlo Park Legends. Menlo Park 11-15 as they host the 14-9 Walnut Creek Crawdads. Ethan, it's been a little bit of a tough stretch for Walnut Creek. They've lost 3 straight, and there's been quite the shakeup in the California Collegiate League North standings. Alameda and Sonoma ahead of the order. Then it's Walnut Creek, San Luis Obispo, Menlo, and of course the San Francisco Seagulls rounding it out.
Yeah, there has been some shakeup, but this is a winnable game for the Crawdads, and vibes are high. The offense did its job yesterday, got itself right. Brady Wilson, he's out here. He wants everyone to know. He wants all the fans to know that he loves them. Everyone's just happy right now, and happiness can translate into wins on the field. So let's see if that happens today, Charlie.
Absolutely, we shall see. The Crawdads exploded for 11 runs yesterday, like you mentioned, Ethan, against a California Tigers team in the non-CCL action there. It was a pretty entertaining one. We had a lot of singles, some extra base hits from the Crawdad order. It was all relatively impressive, but they'll have their work cut out for them today against Diego Menjivar, the starter today for the Menlo Park Legends. The Ohlone College man is in the midst of a pretty solid season for the Legends, 1-0 in 3 games, 2 of them starts, 2.53 ERA for him. Last pitched against the Crawdads in the 5-4 victory for the Legends in Monte Vista.
Yeah, he picked up the save in that game. That was the one game where he came out of the pen. But the Crawdads, they got to him a little bit. In an inning and a third, they were able to score a run, got 2 hits off of him. So they've shown that they can hit him a little bit. Obviously, we'll try to do a little bit more than just a little bit today.
Absolutely. So leading things off for Walnut Creek is Trey Johnson playing center field today. After him, Jared Medham, Joey Donnelly due up. And Zach Justice, John Ewens, Ryan Ellis, 4, 5, 6. Cam Taylor, Cam Calvillo, Riley Leininger to round out the order. Lefty Johnson steps in. Menjivar, a right-hander on the hill. Righties from the first base side of the rubber. The righty kicks and deals, swinging a hard ground ball on the first base side. Anderson is there and takes it to the bag himself. First pitch, 5:05 local time. And already 1 down.
Shortstop, number 6, Jared Mateo.
So here comes Jared Medham, the right-handed shortstop for Walnut Creek. A guy who's been very productive bat at the top of the order for Walnut Creek. 241 hitter in 15 games for the Dads. 13 runs driven in as well. Menjivar's first offering to Medham, ball outside and low. 1-0. Medham had 2 at-bats yesterday in the non-conference loss to the Tigers. Was later subbed in for Joey Donnelly, who's looming on deck. The 1-0 from Menjivar. Swinging a line drive into shallow left field, down for a base hit. Medham in a bit of a slump, only had 1 hit in his last 4 games and leads one off with 1 today.
Yeah, not trying to do too much there, like you said, Charlie. Just a line drive, a little bit of a softly hit liner, found some grass, and you just don't try to do too much. The offense did perform yesterday, but still trying to get going again at a consistent level. Just start small.
Absolutely, that's one of the things he's best at, is just poking the ball out to shallow outfield. So now it's Joey Donnelly with 1 aboard, 1 down in the top of the first. Donnelly hitting .415 this summer as he takes one inside, 1-0. Donnelly, one of the best hitters in the CCL right now. Ethan, 3rd in the league in batting average, tied for 4th in runs driven in.
Yeah, I mean, if you're playing, so far nearly 20 games, 18 games played so far for Donnelly, and you're batting over 400, you are most definitely doing something right.
Absolutely. There's a throw from Menjivar over to first. Medham safe. So now the righty working from the stretch. Second offering to Donnelly. Hard ground ball over to second base. Filter picks it up. He'll throw to first. So 1 single, 2 ground outs early in this one for Walnut Creek. Trying to get some momentum going. It's Zach Justice in the cleanup spot.
Yeah, Filter's momentum there took him towards first base. Would have been a tough throw to second, so just got the easy out there.
Justice, the right-handed hitting catcher for Walnut Creek, recently committed to San Diego State last week after 2 seasons at Oregon where he only played in 2 games. First offering to the righty. Fastball upstairs, 0-1. Justice, a guy who's been hot of late, has hits in 4 of his last 5 games now, tied for 3rd in the league and in home runs, leads the team. There's the 0-1 to Justice. Fastball well upstairs, 1-1. Justice, a guy who's hitting 188 on the season, though, had a little bit of a cold start to his Crawdad debut, but since then, kind of turned a corner. Working with a new torpedo bat here, raise it above the right shoulder. The 1-1 from Menevar. Breaking ball well below the knees. 2 balls, 1 strike. Justice, no stranger to summer ball, played with the Kenosha Kingfish last summer in the Northwoods League. Met him over at second, 2 outs here in the top of the first. Crawdads trying to strike first. Menevar's 2-1 to Justice. Swinging a line drive into shallow left field, caught. Left fielder Villa on for the play. So the Crawdads strand 1 on the paths. We'll head to the bottom of the first, see if Menlo Park can score first here in this one right after this. Welcome back to the bottom of the first here on the Crawdad Streaming Network. Menlo Park due up for their first at-bats of the day, trying to take the lead early in this one. Ray Olivas, the starter today for Walnut Creek, a guy who's made 5 appearances out of the pen so far, Ethan. He's been spotless, 1-0 with an ERA of 0 in 10 innings pitched, 8 strikeouts to just 2 walks.
Yeah, he's done really well this year. First start, so we'll see if the success from out of the bullpen can translate to starting a game. A little bit of a difference, but if you'll talk to a lot of the pitchers here on the Crawdad staff, they'll say that, you know, they try not to think too much about that change. It's just going out there doing the same thing.
Absolutely.
For your Menlo
Olivas,
Park
an
Legends,
88 to 91 mile an hour
right fielder,
fastball, also
number
mixes in a
20,
curveball and a changeup.
Aaron Lewis.
He'll face Aaron Lewis, the leadoff man for Menlo Park, playing right field today, hitting from the left side. Lewis, a fairly new legend, has only played in 4 games with them, debuting on July 1st, hitting 188 on the season. Olivas rocks back and fires. Fastball fouled away, 0-1. Defensively for Walnut Creek today, Ewens at first, Calvillo playing second, met him at short, Leininger at third. Then Donnelly, Johnson, and Taylor right to left field, Justice behind the dish. The 0-1 from Olivas. So another foul ball. Quickly 0-2 count to Aaron Lewis, Portland University man. Olivas trying to get a decision here. Has the call from Justice. Brings the glove to his face. Kicks and delivers the 0-2. Fastball sails well away.
That one went to the backstop.
Yeah, Justice reached up, but really didn't have a chance. I think that one left the hand a little too early. So now it'll be 1-2. Lewis, the lefty leadoff man, has a 3-game hit streak going. The 1-2 fastball just misses the outer third. 2-2. Lewis has already driven in 2 runs in just 4 games. He's got 3 hits, 1 a home run. Olivas shakes off 2 pitch selections, agrees on this one. Here's the 2-2. Fastball swinging a high pop-up into shallow center field. Johnson from straightaway center makes the grab, and there's one retired.
Now batting for the Legends, left fielder number 30.
So with 1 out, it's Quincy Villa,
Villa.
the left fielder today for the Legends. Mainstay in the Menlo Park order. He's played in 23 games this season, hitting .250. First offering to Villa, fastball down the middle, strike 1. Leave us a guy who can induce weak contact, just 4 hits allowed on the season. Trying to remain pretty perfect. The Stockton natives kicks and deals the 0-1. Curveball at the knees, strike 2. 0-2 count to Villa. Olivas looks for a put away here on the 0-2 pitch. Curveball chopped weakly over to second. Calvillo collects the throw to Ewens in time. Two-way for the 3-hole hitter for Menlo, James Bowes playing shortstop.
Number 77, James
Bowes, the Loyola Marymount man, another mainstay in the Menlo Park order. 22 games played, hitting .333 on the season, 13 runs driven in. Guy who's flashed a ton of extra base power, 9 doubles, 1 triple, 2 homers. Olivas first offering to him, off speed and inside, 1-0. Bowes, a rising sophomore at LMU. Played just 1 season there this spring. The 1-0 from Olivas. Breaking ball hit foul high in the air. Justice trying to get under it, and it's Ewens over from first who just misses.
Wow, John Ewens, great effort on that play. It was right over by the dugout on the first base line, and he ran a long way to go and try and grab that one. Went into a slide on this turf, mind you, not grass, and just couldn't hang on to it, but it wasn't for a lack of effort.
He's been a high effort guy defensively over at first all season long. Correction, Bowes, a rising senior at LMU, transferred from West Valley College. The 1-1 to him, breaking ball, swing and a miss. Nasty curveball out in front.
Yeah, that was beautiful.
Olivas plenty of bite on that off-speed pitch. See what he goes to here, 1-2 to Bowes. Olivas kicks and fires, another curveball bounces just behind home plate, 2-2.
Tried to go back to it, but held off that time. Bowes did.
Indeed. Now the 2-2 with 2 outs in the first. Swing and a miss. Curveball gets another bite. Ray Olivas, 3 up, 3 down here in the bottom of the first against Menlo Park. We'll head to the top of the second inning, see if Walnut Creek can score some runs early in this one. And we're back for the top of the second here on the Crawdads streaming network. Nothing ball game early in this one. 5, 6, 7 due up for Walnut Creek. John Ewens, Ryan Ellis, Cam Taylor will be the batters due up. Diego Menevar in his second inning of work now.
Leading
Saw
off for
4
the
batters,
Crawdads,
retired 3 of
first
them.
baseman, number
Allowed just
23,
1 hit, no
John
runs.
Ewens.
That was Jared Medham, who singled, moved over on the ground ball from Joey Donnelly, but was left on second. So now it's the big lefty Ewens from Waco. The righty Menevar kicks and fires. This one slapped foul on the right side above the Legends dugout. Quick 0-1 count to Ewens, another guy who's been really electric for Walnut Creek. Tied for third in the CCL in runs batted in and home runs.
Yeah, it's easy to see what Baylor sees in John Ewens. Big player, a lot of power, and he does damage.
Absolutely. The 0-1 from Menevar. Ewens lines this one over to Filter at second, who has trouble fielding and has a bad throw that goes into the Legends dugout. They're going to give Ewens an extra base. So we'll have to see if that's ruled an error or a single.
Um,
Now batting for the Crawdads.
I'd
Designated hitter, number
I'd call
2,
that
Ryan Ellis.
an infield single with a with an error, but looks like the official scorekeeper here at College of San Mateo is going to give just an error. No, hit in an error. Hit in an error.
Hit and an error. Ewens will definitely take that. He extends his hit streak to 10 games now. So he's been magnificent. Here's Ryan Ellis with a man in scoring position now. Menevar from the stretch, off speed, outside, 1-0. Ellis, a guy currently in the transfer portal amongst the collegiate ranks. 16 games played for the Crawdads this season, .224 average. Here's the 1-0 from Menevar. Another fastball upstairs. 2 balls, no strikes on Ryan Ellis. Third-year Crawdad, former leadoff hitter. Playing designated hitter today, though. Re-aggravated a knee injury last time the Crawdads were here in Menlo Park on this turf, so Coach Cummings not taking another chance with that one, leaving him out of the field just to hit. The 2-0 from Menevar, upstairs again. 3 balls and no strikes. Ewens over there at second. Perhaps a threat to steal. He's got 8 swiped bags on the season. Cam Taylor, the power threat behind Ellis, should he get aboard. Menevar winds and fires a 3-0. Ball 4 below the knees. Ellis walked on 4 pitches, and now there's 2 on for Cam Taylor playing left field today for Walnut Creek.
Now batting for the Crawdads, left fielder number 5, Cam Taylor.
Taylor, the Georgia native, grew up 30 minutes outside of Atlanta. Playing his first year in the California Collegiate League. 14 games played this season for Walnut Creek, hitting .208. Was productive yesterday, Ethan. Did not record a hit, but drove in a couple runs via a walk and a sac fly with the bases juiced.
Yeah, he was seeing the ball really well. Like you said, a couple walks and
Menevar's first offering to Taylor, swing and a miss.
and you know he's not a player that despite having a lot of power, he doesn't sell out for it. He just does what's needed. Like you said, sac fly yesterday, drove in a run, first run of the game.
Does have natural power. Everything he hits is hit really hard. The 0-1, swing and a miss again. Off-speed pitch up in the zone, makes it 0-2 to Taylor, who is tied for the lead on the Crawdads in home runs. He's got 2, tied with Ewens and Justice, which also gives him the tie for third in the league. Menevar kicks and fires the 0-2. Check swing on a breaking ball below the knees. Did he go? The appeal to second base says no. 1-2 count on Taylor. 2 on, no one out here in the top of the second. Crawdads trying to take an early lead on the Legends, who've come back to beat them twice now. First one right here, Crawdads were down 6-1 at one point, rallied all the way back, and then lost in the bottom of the 9th. The 1-2 to Taylor. Off speed, just inside. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Yeah, that was close. Don't know if Cam Taylor would want to take that one again, but he got the call in his favor this time around.
Lefty looking to deal some damage here with an RBI opportunity. At the very least, move the runners over for Cam Calvillo, who's up next. Menevar looks in. The 2-2 comes home. Swing and a miss. Gets Taylor to bite on the fastball. Now there's one down.
Now batting, second baseman, number 3, Cam Cavillo.
Calvillo, the second baseman for Walnut Creek, a .250 hitter in 10 games for the Crawdads this season. Returning for his 4th summer with the Crawdads. Like we mentioned, Ethan, they also lost, the Crawdads did last Wednesday to Menlo Park. Originally had a 3-0 lead, then Menlo scored 4 in 1 inning as Calvillo takes a strike on the outside. 0-1, did not agree with it, shakes his head.
Yeah, that was a tough loss on Wednesday, and it's kind of set the team spiraling a little bit. Three losses in a row in CCL play, 4 in a row if you don't include, or if you do include the non-CCL game.
Absolutely, as Calvillo rips one over to third. The third baseman, Ravago, with a nice play and a throw over to second as Ewens was leading really well. Slides back, not in time. A 5-4 double play. Strands one for the Crawdads. We'll head to the bottom of the second. Menlo Park trying to take the early lead right after this. Scoreless here as we enter the bottom of the second on the Walnut Creek streaming network. Menlo Park Legends due up 4-5-6 set to bat. Mitchell Birdsall, William Anderson, and Austin Rabago. Rabago had that diving catch to his right, snagged what could have been a line drive from Calvillo, and then turned the double play in the last half inning. Either way, first up it's Birdsall, a San Jose native. Plays over at San Jacinto College. He's only appeared in 5 games this season for Menlo Park. He spent his first 6 with the Orange County Riptide down in the CCL South. But hitting .263 for Menlo. Olivas in his second inning of work. The first offering to the righty. Breaking ball in the dirt. 0-1. Or 1-0, excuse me.
Yeah, Birdsall, he's a NorCal guy. Grew up in San Jose, so a little bit closer to home now.
A 1-0 from Olivas. Swing and a miss. Off speed inside, gets a bite. 1-1. Olivas, the University of Santa Barbara man, native of Stockton, California. Had a magnificent freshman season with the Gauchos as he fires a fastball on the 1-1, called strike 2. 18 appearances this spring for Olivas, was 1-1 with a 4.04 ERA. 29 Ks, just 7 walks. Here's the 1-2, swing and a miss. Another nice offering from Ray Olivas, and he's struck out 2 straight Legends hitters.
Now batting for the Legends.
So one down in the bottom of the second for William Anderson, the first baseman in the 5-hole. Anderson, a guy who's flashed quite a lot of power, has 21 home runs in 2 seasons at Ohlone College. Only 5 extra base hits this summer, though, for Menlo as he takes a fastball down the middle, 0-1. Olivas kicks and fires the 0-1, another fastball upstairs, swing and a miss.
Ray Olivas has really found a rhythm. It's fun to watch.
It's turning into one of the best relievers, best pitchers, perhaps I should say, for the Crawdads. Here's the 0-2. Fastball resets the eye level, ball 1.
Not a bad miss and a 2-strike count.
Exactly now opens up the lower part of the zone, perhaps for the curveball or the changeup away. Justice with the call. Olivas with the 1-1. 1-2, excuse me. It's upstairs on the fastball. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Yeah, went back to the same spot.
Tried to get a high cheese chase from Anderson. Got no such thing there. Here's the 2-2, fouled back. Well over us on the third base side of the field. So we'll do 2-2 again. Olivas last pitched on Saturday against the San Luis Obispo Blues in that 1-0 loss. Had a scoreless inning with 1 strikeout. The 2-2 once again to Anderson. Curveball driven into center field for a base hit. Johnson waits on it and just lets it come to him. So Menlo Park with their first hit of the day. 1 aboard, 1 out here in the bottom of the second for the 6-hole hitter Austin Rabago. Rabago, another lefty in this order. Olivas really hasn't had much trouble with batters of either handedness as he fires a fastball at the knees. Swing and miss. Rabago, rising senior over at Hendrix College, career .313 hitter there in 109 games, in which he started all of them. The 0-1 from Olivas, fastball up and away. 1 ball and 1 strike on Rabago. SoCal guy Rabago is, 85 runs batted in collegiately, hitting .244 this summer for the Legends. The 1-1 from Olivas, swing and a miss on the fastball upstairs. It'll be officially a foul tip into Justice's glove. Either way, it's 1-2. Olivas mixing in his pitches rather nicely so far. Trying to get a decision here on Rabago. Here's the 1-2. Fastball lined into the gap at second base. 2 straight base hits allowed. 2 on, just 1 down here in the bottom of the second. Menlo Park trying to score.
Now batting for the Legends, second baseman number 34, Deuce Filter.
Now RBI opportunity for Deuce Filter, the second baseman for the Legends. Filter attends Santa Clara University, where his father Rusty is the head coach. Played in just 4 games as a freshman this spring. Hitting 200 on the year for Menlo Park.
Rusty and Deuce, a family of nicknames.
Indeed, they both have the official first name of Russell as he swings and misses at a breaking ball low and outside. 0-1. Excuse me, go ahead, Ethan.
I was going to say, it makes sense. Rusty, Russell, I can make that connection. Then Deuce, Russell the second.
Exactly.
It makes sense.
It does indeed. Here's the 0-1 from Olivas. Another curveball, swing and a miss. Filter out in front. Olivas with some nasty deception here early. Trying to record the second out of the inning here as there are 2 aboard. Filter career .300 hitter at Palo Alto High School in California in 2 seasons. The 0-2 from Ray Olivas. Fouled off.
Yeah, that was just a defensive swing there. Wasn't exactly a pitch he wanted, but one that he wasn't willing to take, for fear of being called a strike. So just fouls it off there.
Yeah, nice 2-strike approach, protecting the plate. Filter 2 hits in his last 3 games. Had 1 on Sunday against the Merchants. Drove in a run. And offering outside, the back pick over to first. Justice barely misses.
Yeah, you see Zach Justice now. He's looking into the dugout. At first, he was covering his mouth up with his hand. He really thought he got him there, and we've seen him, have successful back picks a couple times now this year. So real close play there. We'll see if the lead's a little bit short at first base now.
Call at the plate was a ball, so here's the 1-2. Breaking ball upstairs. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And like you mentioned, Justice, one of the best defensive catchers that the Crawdads have. Obviously, Clisby and Coupland can hold their own behind the dish, but Justice perhaps on another level.
Yeah, Justice is just such a great all-around threat behind the plate.
Levis glances to second. The 2-2 to Filter. Fouled away on the fastball. Straight back. We'll do it again. Big battle here. Olivas trying to stay scoreless here. Has not allowed a run on the season. Love to keep the Legend scoreless here as his team tries to take a lead. This one grounded on the third base side, foul. Filter refuses to quit here.
Yeah, good battle we got here, Charlie.
Absolutely, neither man given an inch. Filter, the rising redshirt sophomore. Olivas, the true rising sophomore. The 2-2. Swinging a high fly ball into left center field. Johnson gets it from center. Cam Taylor ranges over. Would have had the play on it, but Johnson calls him off a little bit. They did nearly run into each other, but either way, 2 down, 2 still aboard here in the bottom of the second. And it brings up the catcher Blake Cohens for the Legends. RBI opportunity for him still as there are 2 aboard. Cohen's 19 games played for Menlo, 239 hitter. He's driven in 3 runs this summer. Olivas first offering to the righty, fouled back on the fastball, 0-1. Cohen's last summer played in the Bay Area Collegiate League, where he was an all-star selection. The rising redshirt sophomore at the University of Illinois, Chicago. Originally went to Skyline College locally in the Bay, but redshirted and transferred out. Here's the 0-1. Swing and a miss. Breaking ball at the knees. 0-2.
Yeah, University of Illinois Chicago must really like something in his game to be able to take a chance on him without, seeing him play at the college level yet.
They were certainly rewarded. 267 hitter in 14 games this spring. Here's the 0-2. Shallow fly ball into left field, down for a base hit. Taylor fields the throw home as Anderson is in to score. So on the throw, runners will advance third and second. Filter to third, Cohens all the way to second base. So an RBI single for Blake Cohens, and the Menlo Park Legends lead 1-0 here early. Now still 2 runners in scoring position for the 9-hole hitter, Charlie Degler, playing center field. Degler, the University of Puget Sound man, 2 years at that Division III program. The first offering from Olivas, curveball at the knees, swing and a miss. 0-1 to the Sunnyvale native. Career .327 hitter at Puget Sound. A monster freshman year where he hit .412. The 0-1, another swing and a miss on the off speed in the middle of the zone. 0-2 count to Degler. Guy who's hit surprisingly well in the 9-hole, .308 average in 13 games for the Legends. The 0-2 off speed just outside. 1-2 to Degler as Olivas trying to get out of this one. He's allowed the 1 runner so far, his first of the season and the game. .6'1" righty sets. The 1-2. Fastball on the ground through the middle of the infield. Neither Medham nor Calvillo has a chance. 1 runner scores, and Cohens is in as well. Menlo Park leads 3-0 on the bases clearing single from Charlie Degler.
Now batting for the Legends, right fielder number 20.
Now the lineup turns over. Aaron Lewis, the right fielder, is up with 1 aboard still, just 2 outs. As this inning has gotten away from Olivas a little bit. Crawdads will have work to do when they come back up to bat. Lewis flew out to center field in his first at-bat against Olivas. First offering to the lefty. High fly ball into deep left field. Taylor on the run, and it goes foul. Crawdads perhaps with a bit of a break on that one, Ethan.
Yeah, definitely. Could have been big time damage.
So instead it'll be 0-1 to Lewis. Rising sophomore at Portland. Native of San Francisco, just up the peninsula. The 0-1 from Olivas. Runner goes. Justice with a laser throw over to Medham, and he can't field it as that one bounced over to his right. Tough play. So it's a stolen bag for Degler. Now a runner in scoring position. Called a ball at the plate, so it's 1-1. Olivas and the Crawdads trying to stop the bleeding here. The 1-1 comes home. Breaking ball driven into left center field, down for extra bases. Degler rounds third easily. He's in to score, and Lewis will have to stop at second. Donnelly had a tough play over there in right center. 4-0 ball game for Menlo. Still a runner at second.
Left fielder number 3, Quincy Villa.
So 3 straight RBI hits allowed by Olivas, and pitching coach for Walnut Creek, Dustin Cheney, is going to go to the mound and have a chat with him.
Yeah, trying to get Olivas back on track because he was really cruising and is now kind of got himself into just some damage, I suppose.
Indeed, 5 hits allowed in this inning. He only had 4 entering today. So now the righty's going to try and recover here. 3 guys scheduled in the bullpen today for Walnut Creek: Peter Storyahan, Colin Nowacek, and Micah Billings. Crawdads would love to wait a couple innings before calling to one of them, but they all are available should Olivas be unable to get out of this one.
Yeah, it's important to get some length out of Olivas today, though, because as you said, they do have arms available, but this is the first of 6 games in 7 days for the Crawdads, so they'd like to save their bullpen as much as possible.
Absolutely, a very taxing schedule due up. They'll play the Stompers twice, play the Legends 2 more times after today, plus the Alameda Merchants, all teams battling for first place in the North. First offering to the new batter via curveball on the inner third, strike 1. Via grounded out to second in his first at-bat in the first inning. Working with a man in scoring position, 2 down in the bottom of the second. The 0-1 to the righty via. Swinging a fly ball into shallow center field. Johnson on over to his right. He makes the snag. Crawdads get out of the inning, but not before they allow 4 runs to come across. Got some work to do as we head to the top of the third right after this. one.
Batting out the top of the third
We're
for the
live for
Crawdads.
the top of the third.
Baseman, number
Walnut
11,
Creek Crawdads down by
Riley
4.
Leininger.
9-1-2 due up. Riley Leininger, the third baseman for the Crawdads, trying to get something going. As Crawdads need to score some runs here. Leininger, 4 hits in his past 4 games, but both of those came towards the beginning of last week, was hitless this weekend in San Luis Obispo. Diego Menevar, the righty's first offering, swing and a miss. Off-speed pitch below the knees, 0-1.
It wasn't just Riley, though. I mean, there were a lot of Crawdads that got shut down by the Blues pitching.
Absolutely, the Blues did a magnificent job in that regard. The 0-1 from Menevar. Another breaking ball, same spot. Leininger lays off this time. It's 1-1. Trey Johnson, Jared Medham looming on deck. The 1-1 to Leininger. Fastball popped up into the left side of the infield. The shortstop, Bose, is under it, and he puts it away.
Now batting for the Crawdads.
One
Center
down.
fielder, number 16,
Lineup turns over. Trey Johnson
Johnson.
will try to start a one-out rally for Walnut Creek. Johnson, a guy who started the season pretty electrically for Walnut Creek, has kind of picked back up as well as of late. 4 hits in his last 4 games, riding a 2-game hit streak at the moment. First offering to the lefty center fielder. Fastball outside, 1-0. Johnson started the year with a 5-game hit streak, including 2 multi-hit games. The 1-0 to him. Fastball upstairs. 2 balls and no strikes on Johnson.
Yeah, one thing we've learned about Trey Johnson is that he's a bit of a streaky hitter. He can definitely swing the bat, but he goes on some runs and then gets into a little bit of trouble, and then he goes on some runs again. We'll be looking to be a little bit more consistent as the summer continues on.
2-0 fastball clips the outer third. First strike to Johnson. You're absolutely right. Ethan does have a bit of that undercutting left-handed swing, which tends to be a bit feast or famine. The 2-1 to Johnson. Swinging a high fly ball in foul territory over the Crawdad dugout, out of play. Now 2-2 to Johnson, rising sophomore at Skyline College. Played 41 games there this spring. The 2-2 to Johnson. Ground ball over to second base. Filter collects. Lazy throw to first for the out. Now there's 2 away for Jared Medham.
Now batting for the Crawdads. Shortstop, number 6, Jared
Medham
Metum.
had the first hit of the day for Walnut Creek back in the top of the first. But Diego Menevar on the bump has been relatively effective so far, Ethan. He's stranded 2 runners on just 2 hits. Lots of soft contact thus far. First offering to the righty, Medham. Fouled back. High end towards the press box.
Yeah,
0-1.
And unfortunately for the Crawdads, you know, although the previous time they saw him, he only went an inning and a third. He's a guy who can go long. He's gone up to 6 innings this summer. If the Crawdads don't get things going, it could be a bit of a troublesome day for a while.
Menevar's 0-1. Fastball up and in. 1 ball and 1 strike to Medham, the St. Mary's Gale. 3 seasons played there in Moraga. Medham hit .297 this spring in 55 games. 1-1 offering, swing and a miss. On a nice curveball from Menevar. Now it's 1-2 to Medham, former West Coast Conference all-freshman selection back in 2023. Do have some big wind over here at the College of San Mateo.
Chilly Bay Area day.
Absolutely. The 1-2. Misses well outside. Count evens to 2 balls and 2 strikes on Medham. No one on, 2 down here in the top of the third. Joey Donnelly, the next batter up for Walnut Creek. Menevar turns and deals, swing and a miss. High fastball tipped into the glove of Cohen's behind the dish. Crawdads retired in order 1-2-3. We'll head to the bottom of the third. Menlo Park up 4, trying to extend their current lead right after this. Welcome back to the Crawdads streaming network for the bottom of the third. 3-4-5 due up for the Menlo Park Legends. They lead by 4 over Walnut Creek. Ray Levis allowed 4 runs on 5 hits back in the bottom of the second. Trying to get a scoreless inning here and give the Crawdads another chance to get closer. First offering to James Bowes, swing and a miss on the off-speed pitch. 0-1 quickly. Bowes, the starting shortstop today for Menlo, struck out to end the bottom of the first. The 0-1 to him. Fastball popped up high in the air, right center field. Donnelly ranging well over to his right side to make the play. 1 down.
Now batting for the Legends, designated hitter number 14.
So here's Mitchell Birdsall in the 4-hole. The designated hitter also struck out against Olivas in his first at-bat of the day. That came in the bottom of the second. Birdsall hitting .250 in totality this summer in 11 games, split between the Orange County Riptide and these Menlo Park Legends. First pitch from Olivas in there for a strike. Fastball at the belt. 0-1. Birdsall, a tall guy with plenty of power in the frame, 6'3", 200. The 0-1 from Olivas. Breaking ball outside and low. 1 ball and 1 strike. Now the 1-1 to the righty. Foul ball off the inside breaking ball. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Birdsall, the San Jose native, decided Orange County was not the correct spot for him. Came back closer to home. The 1-2, swing and a miss. 2 strikeouts on the day for Birdsall. Olivas has his number thus far. Now 2 down. William Anderson, the first baseman, up.
Will Anderson.
Anderson got the scoring party started in the last at-bats for Menlo Park. Led things off with a single when there was 1 out. First offering to the lefty from Maloney. Swing and a miss. Leave us with a inside fastball, gets the bite. Anderson, a Gilroy native, goes to Ohlone College nearby. Career .389 hitter there. Here's the 0-1. Breaking ball fouled back. Quick 0-2 count as Olivas recovering well after last inning.
Yeah, 1 strike away from a really, really nice bounce back inning.
Santa Barbara righty shakes off 2 offerings, agrees on this one from Justice. Kicks back and delivers the 0-2. Fastball just above the letters. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Anderson, a two-way player both at Ohlone and for Menlo. 15 appearances amongst the JUCO ranks as a pitcher. 3 this summer. Here's the 1-2, swing and a miss on the fastball. Olivas sees 3, strikes out 2, and works a nice scoreless inning here in the bottom of the third. We'll head to the top of the fourth. Crawdads with an opportunity to cut into the 4-0 lead right after this. Welcome back to the top of the fourth on the Walnut Creek streaming network. Crawdads down by 4. Back up to bat here in San Mateo, visiting the Menlo Park Legends.
Right fielder, number
3, 4,
4,
5 due up.
Joey
Joey Donnelly,
Donnelly.
Zach Justice, John Ewens. Part of the Crawdad order, perhaps one of the most dangerous in the CCL. Facing Diego Menevar for the 4th time now in this game. Menevar just 2 hits allowed so far. Pretty spotless. Ready, kicks and fires. The first offering to Donnelly. Driven high in the air into right field. That one going back at the track. See you later. Joey Donnelly cuts into the lead. A solo blast to lead off the 4th. So now the Crawdads trailing 4-1. And that's exactly what the doctor ordered, Ethan.
Oh yeah, big time.
Catcher, number 26.
You were just talking about how this part of the order is one of the most dangerous in the CCL, and whatever the reverse of the announcer's jinx is, we just saw it right there.
Indeed we did, my friend. So now it's Justice on. No one on base, no one out. Swings and fouls the first offering from Menevar back. 0-1. Justice flew out into deep left field his last time up. Big pull side hitter guy. Trying to deal some more damage, get aboard. The 0-1 from Menevar. Another foul ball. Justice stays alive, but it's 0-2. Ewens and Ellis on deck. Menevar sets chest high. The 0-2, strike 3 called. Curveball below the knees. Justice does not agree with home plate umpire Gus Cordova. Can't really blame him.
Now batting for the Crawdads, first baseman, number 23, John Ewens.
So 1 out in the top of the 4th. No one on for John Ewens. Left-handed first baseman for Walnut Creek. And the second hit of the day for the Crawdads, a single in the second. Menevar comes home, first offering, breaking ball outside. 1 ball, no strikes to Ewens. Rising sophomore over at Baylor. Missed 2024 with an injury, played in 11 games in 2025, started 4. 1-0 offering to him, breaking ball down the middle. Strike 1. With that single in his last at-bat, Ewens currently on a 10-game hitting streak. Now has hits in 16 of 20 games played. And today hitting .434 on the year. The 1-1. Fastball runs outside. 2 balls, 1 strike to Ewens. We know he's got the power in that frame, but a little bit of an open stance has allowed him to be really good at hitting singles. Only 3 extra base hits on the year, 25 total.
Yeah, just a bit of a hit machine.
The 2-1 from Menevar. Off speed, runs away. 3 balls, 1 strike. Cohen's couldn't even get the glove to that one. Diego Menevar, the Ohlone College man. 40 career appearances there, 66 innings pitched. 13.09 Ks per 9 innings. The 3-1 to Ewens. Swinging a high pop-up in the infield. Filter coming on from second to make the play. And he can't get there. Misreads it in the sun. Ewens reaches.
Well, Charlie, that goes into the scorebook as a single, but Russell Filter will tell you that that's one he really should have caught.
So either way, 2 singles on the day for John Ewens. 1 aboard, 1 down for Ryan Ellis. Crawdads still with a prime opportunity to close the gap between the legends. Ellis walked in his first at-bat today. Trying to get aboard a second time. First offering ripped into shallow right field, down for a base hit. Ewens over to second safely. Now 2 straight singles for Walnut Creek, and they're in business as Cam Taylor comes up with 2 on.
Yeah.
For the Crawdads, left fielder, number 5, Cam Taylor.
All of a sudden, a bit of a rally's getting underway.
It's exactly what the doctor ordered for these Crawdads after Oliva sent the Legends down 1-2-3 in his last inning of work. Taylor struck out swinging his last time up. First offering to him, fastball below the knees, 1-0. Taylor's bounced around 3 collegiate programs in the portal yet again. Spent this spring at Eastern Kentucky where he played 15 games. The 1-0 offering, both runners go and both steal. No throw from Cohens. Rare double steal in the CCL, but frankly, Ethan, something the Crawdads have been aggressive at doing all season long.
Yeah, and I mean, John Ewens, he runs really well for a big guy. Ryan Ellis, even with all the injuries, he can still move him.
Now the 2-0 to Taylor, swinging a foul ball. They'll say it hit off home plate. Did advance into play. Menevar came crashing in, but doesn't matter. It's 2-1. So that's now the 9th stolen base on the year for Ewens and the first of the season for Ryan Ellis. 2-1 at the dish to Taylor. 2 runners in scoring position. Menevar comes home. Breaking ball over the middle of the plate. 2-2. Taylor was dynamite in 2024 at Andrew College. 54 games played, hit .344, 9 homers, 12 doubles, 5 triples. Good for 49 runs batted in. Would love to add some more here. The 2-2 in the dirt. Breaking ball bounces, but Cohens with a nice save. Either way, it's a full count to Cam Taylor, who has 7 runs batted in this year for Walnut Creek. Just needs to lift the ball in the air, score at least one. Menevar sets at the chest. Kicks and delivers the payoff. Swinging a hard ground ball over to first base. Anderson can't get Ewens. He'll just take it to the bag himself. So an RBI ground out for Cam Taylor. Crawdads now trail by just 2. Ellis over at third, and Cam Calvillo, the second baseman, with another opportunity to drive him in.
Second baseman, number 3, Cam Calvillo.
Calvillo lined into that 5-4 double play to end the second inning with a couple runners on. It was a really nice play from Rabago over at third. First offering to the righty. Taylor, soft ground ball back to Menevar at the mound. He'll jog over, flip it to Anderson for the final out. But Crawdads get 2 courtesy of the Joey Donnelly home run and the RBI ground ball from Cam Taylor. They trail by just 2 now against the Menlo Park Legends as we head to the bottom of the 4th right after this. Welcome back to the bottom of the 4th on the Crawdad streaming network. Menlo Park up to bat here as now they only lead by 2 thanks to the Joey Donnelly home run and the Cam Taylor sack ground out. Austin Rabago, the third baseman, will lead off this inning, has a single already today on Ray Olivas in his 4th inning of work now for Walnut Creek. Righty's first offering to the lefty, Rabago, fastball up and away, called strike. 0-1. Olivas retired the last 3 he's seen. That was back in the bottom of the 3rd. A lot of 5 hits on the day, though. The 0-1 to Rabago. Fastball up and in, called ball 1. So we've seen kind of both sides of the coin for Ray Olivas today. 2 1-2-3 innings, 1 5-hit inning where 4 runs scored. The 1-1 driven deep into right field. Donnelly can't even get there. That one's gone. Austin Rabago with a leadoff home run. The Menlo Park Legends up 5-2.
I was going to say, Charlie, that one was going to be trouble just because of how far into the corner it was hit, and with, Donnelly, he was playing even a little bit more over to center than just straight up, but it caught some air and carried out of here.
Yes, the lefty with an extreme pull hit that was maybe 10 feet to the left of the foul pole. Short porch out there and left, 319 to the foul pole. Wind obviously carrying the ball out a little bit. So now here's Filter with no one out. First offering to him, laced into right center field, down for a base hit. Calvillo tried to get there from second, but just missed it with the glove. 2 straight hits for Menlo Park here in the bottom of the 4th. Brings up Blake Cohens, the catcher, who himself has an RBI single on the day. Now we've seen a bit of a trend, Ethan, in the even-numbered innings. Olivas working into trouble. Throw back to first, try and nab Filter. Throw not in time. Some big gusts of wind picking up here in San Mateo. 1 on, no one out in the bottom of the 4th. Another throw back to first. Tag not in time. Looked like Olivas and Ewens had a chance, but Filter, nice slide. Olivas in the stretch. First offering to Cohens, breaking ball, middle, strike 1. Cohens, freshman season at University of Illinois, Chicago, 14 games played. The 0-1 from Olivas. Curveball belted high in the air to left center field. Johnson over to his right, puts the squeeze to it. 1 down.
Now batting for the Legends.
So now it's the 9-hole man, Charlie Degler, who had that 2 RBI single back in the 2nd inning. Still working with a man aboard, 1 down in the bottom of the 4th. Olivas first offering to the lefty. Shows bunt, pulls it back. Fastball runs high, 1-0. Degler, 28 games played at University of Puget Sound. The 1-0 to him. Slapped high in the air, foul territory on the third base side, out of play. Big hustle from Riley Leininger. Thought he might have had a chance, but clears the fence. 1-1. Degler this season, 5 runs batted in now. The 1-1 to him. Fastball at the belt, strike 2. Olivas worked a nice at-bat against Cohens, trying to do the same here with Degler. The 1-2 from the righty. Fastball just misses up in the zone. 2-2. Degler, more walks than he has strikeouts this season for Menlo Park. 7 base on balls to just 4 Ks. The 2-2 fouled back into the screen. Out in front on the off-speed pitch. Still lots of wind blowing from home plate over towards left field. The 2-2 to Degler. Swinging a fly ball on the left side, out of play. Leininger takes a couple steps, as does Taylor, but neither had a chance. Still 2-2. 5'8", 175-pound lefty from Sunnyvale. Olivas shakes off 3 straight offerings from Justice, and he'll step off as the battery tries to get on the same page. I'll try again here. Olivas agrees with this selection. The 2-2. Fastball driven high in the air, left center field. Taylor will get there from left, puts the tag to it. 2 down. Legends trying not to strand one aboard here. They've already scored 1. Would love to get another, add some insurance to this 3-run lead.
Aaron Lewis.
It'll be Aaron Lewis as the lineup turns over with a chance for a 2-out rally. And here comes head coach Brant Cummings for Walnut Creek. Ray Olivas might be done here.
Yeah, very well could be. And no. So Olivas will stay out there. You know, it would have made sense to take him out there. You know, you don't want him to maybe see the lineup for a 3rd time, but he's getting back into a bit of a rhythm here. Might as well finish out the 4th inning.
Exactly, only needs 1 out. He's plenty capable of doing that. His longest appearance of the year now. So he tries to complete 4 full innings. He's got 3 2/3 covered this far. Lewis had that RBI double in the 2nd. The last time that the Legends would score in that inning. Then obviously the homer to lead off this one. They're up 5. First offering gets away from Justice. Filter will jog to second, rounding the base, but he'll stop there. So the wild pitch moves Filter over.
Now, I don't know this for sure, but Filter was jumping around a lot at first base. I wonder if Justice maybe was thinking about the back pick and thinking about the throw a little too much that he forgot to catch the ball.
You never know. Olivas, strong look over at second, steps off the mound. Now we'll look back in. It'll be 1-0 on Lewis. Right fielder for the Legends. Would love another hit here. Here's the 1-0. Fastball belted into left center field. Taylor going back at the warning track, and he can't get there in time. That one down for extra bases. Filter scores. Lewis racing over to third. Looks like he might have pulled his hamstring as Leininger able to tag him. The throw in time.
Something happened there. We obviously hope that Lewis is okay, but something definitely bothering him. Pulled up about halfway to third base and then started just walking real gingerly toward the bag where, as you said, Charlie, he was tagged out.
So that'll do it here in the bottom of the 4th. Training staff gonna go and attend to Lewis. Menlo Park up 6-2 now on the Crawdads. Wood at the top of the 5th. Walnut Creek trying to cut into the deficit once more right after this. Welcome back to the Crawdads Streaming Network for the top of the fifth. Crawdads up to bat, down by 4 here to the Menlo Park Legends. Riley Leininger, Trey Johnson, Jared Medham due up, 9-1-2.
And leading off the top of the fifth for the Crawdads,
Looks like either
Riley Leininger.
Cole Curtis, or Isaiah Landry replacing Joe Lewis after the apparent injury on the run to third on that RBI extra base hit in the last half inning. Either way, Crawdads trying to cut into this 4-run deficit. Manavar still on the hill. He's been really effective so far. First offering to Leininger, fastball up and away, ball one. Leininger popped up to shortstop in his first at-bat. That came in the third inning. Looking for a way to get aboard here. The 1-0 check swing. That one bounced in the dirt. 2 balls, no strikes. Leininger, a very disciplined bat for Walnut Creek. 17 walks on the season and just 10 strikeouts. Good for an on-base percentage of .378. 2-0 breaking ball below the knees. 3 balls, no strikes to Leininger. Manavar trying to pitch around and paint the corners. Thus far, no strikes. Manavar winds and fires a 3-0. Fastball at the belt. Outside, though. Called strike anyway. 3-1. Leininger thought it was ball 4. Nearly headed to first. The 3-1 from Manavar. Fastball down the middle. Full count to Leininger. Leininger at one point in the season had a 15-game on-base streak. Snapped June 27th when the Crawdads played the Seagulls. Here's the payoff. Strike 3 called. Leininger does not agree with it.
Yeah, has some words with the home plate umpire
Batting for the Crawdads, center fielder number
before heading back to
16,
the dugout.
Trey Johnson.
So there's one down now in the top of the fifth. Trey Johnson up. 0 for 2 today, 2 ground outs. Johnson, .237 hitter in 16 games entering this one. Lefty's made some good contact. No hits yet today, though. The first offering, he shows bunt, pulls it back as the breaking ball misses low. 1-0. Medham on deck. Joey Donnelly could see an at-bat should Johnson or Medham reach. Manavar's 1-0 to Johnson. Fastball well upstairs. 2 balls and no strikes. Johnson, the Walnut Creek native, playing his first time with the Crawdads, but a guy familiar with the program. Grew up going to games with his dad, a friend of head coach Brant Cummings. That 2-0 offering in the dirt. 3 balls and no strikes.
A long time in the making for Trey Johnson to be the almost everyday center fielder for the team.
Absolutely, he's come a long way. Good high school career, looks good at Skyline. Here's the 3-0. Strike 1 called at the knees. Off speed from Manavar there.
Yeah, and Manavar, he's struggling to find the zone a little bit here in this 5th inning. See if the Crawdads can take advantage of it.
The righty kicks and fires a 3-1. Hard hit ground ball over to first base. Anderson misses it with the glove. Johnson legs out a single.
Yeah, we'll see if they give him the infield single or the error there. Could really go either way. It was a decently hit ball right to first base, but
Number 6,
after
Medham.
touching it with the glove, went over the Legends' first baseman, William Anderson's back and rolled off of him. Weird play there.
Yeah, definitely a strange sequence of events, but either way, there's 1 on for Medham here in the top of the 5th. First offering popped up towards the backstop. Cohen's won't be able to get there as it's out of play. So 0-1 to Medham. Crawdads shortstop is 1 for 2 today. Had a single in the first, struck out swinging in the third. So long as the Crawdads avoid the double play, Joey Donnelly up next. Guy who scored first for Walnut Creek thanks to the deep home run to right field back in the 4th. Pickoff over towards first. Johnson runs back safely. Still 0-1 at the dish to Medham.
Looks like they've given Trey Johnson a hit on that.
I think I agree with that one. It was really well struck.
You won't hear any arguments from me.
The 0-1 to Medham, breaking ball low. 1 ball and 1 strike to him. Rising senior at St. Mary's, a native of Half Moon Bay, really not too all far from San Mateo at least, but staying with a host family closer to Walnut Creek. Took the team bus today. Another throwback to first. Menavar can't get Johnson, but trying to hold him there. Johnson certainly a threat to steal. Plenty of speed on the base paths. 5 stolen bags thus far. The 1-1 to Medham. Upstairs fastball, 2 balls and 1 strike. Menavar's 2-1 offering runs well outside, 3-1. Back pick over to first, not in time. Johnson with a lunge step to be in there safely. Heads up play from Cohen's though.
Yeah, Trey Johnson really testing it there. Might want to keep the secondary lead a little bit shorter, or at least get back to the bag a little quicker, because that one was close.
Or perhaps he'll be staying there out of spite. Either way, the 3-1 comes home, swing and a foul tip into the glove.
In and out of the glove there, so.
Indeed.
Not that it was a 2-strike count anyway, but if it was, would have stayed alive.
Indeed. Now it's a full count to Medham. Guy who's turned it around the past couple games. 1 for 4 on Saturday against the Blues, 0 for 4 on Sunday. Now 1 for 2 here. Here's the payoff from Menavar. Swinging a deep drive into left center field. That one going back to the track, and an outstanding play from Degler in center field to track it down.
Had to go a long way to get that one, but he did.
Indeed he did, so now there's 2 outs. Trey Johnson still at first after the single. Joey Donnelly is up. 3-hole hitter for Walnut Creek has been fabulous thus far. Obviously the homer today, but on the season, still magnificent. 415 average entering today in 18 games. Trying to put together an early player of the week candidate. First offering to Donnelly, breaking ball outside. 1 ball, no strikes.
Another home run here would go a long way to help his cause, and, you know, I'm sure the team wouldn't complain either.
Not at all. Donnelly now tied for the team lead, tied for 3rd in the league with homers. There's another throwback to first. Johnson is safe. Donnelly played 4 years with the Cal Golden Bears out in Berkeley. Only played 20 games though, so as a graduate now transferred to Fordham. Runner goes, swing and a miss. That one in and out of the glove of Cohen's. Johnson with a stolen bag, and it presents an RBI opportunity for Donnelly. Now it's 1-1 count. Donnelly committed to Fordham last Monday, June 30th, and had a 6-game hitting streak broken against these legends last Wednesday. There's that one. There's a step off from Menavar as he looked to Johnson at second. Now he collects the 1-1 from the stretch to Donnelly. Fastball up and outside, 2-1. Donnelly, a guy who hasn't stolen a lot of bags this year, but 2 summers ago in 2023, led the entire California Collegiate League in steals with Walnut Creek. Donnelly, a 3rd-year crawdad. The 2-1 to him, fouled back on the fastball, 2-2. Crawdads trailing 4. 2-2 count in the top of the 5th. Trey Johnson over at second base, 2 outs in this inning. Menavar trying to complete 5 innings of work. Here's the 2-2 offering from the righty. Bounces in the dirt, full count to Joey Donnelly. Justice in the cleanup spot on deck should Donnelly reach. 6'2", 210 outfielder readies. The payoff to Donnelly. Bounces in the dirt.
It hit him.
Looks like it hit him indeed. So now there's 2 aboard for Justice. And a little bit of a 2-out rally for Walnut Creek.
Now batting for the Crawdads. Catcher number 26, Zach Justice.
Another opportunity for Walnut Creek to drive in some runs, cut the lead. Justice 0 for 2 today. Flew out to left in the first, struck out looking in the fourth. Menovar's first offering to Justice, swing and a miss, fastball on the outer third. 0-1. Menovar looks into Cohen's, gets the sign, sets out the chest. Here's the 0-1. Fastball runs upstairs, 1 ball and 1 strike. Justice spent 2 years with the Oregon Ducks, but is only a rising redshirt sophomore. He retained a year of eligibility in 2024. The 1-1 offering to him, fastball upstairs, 2-1 at the head. Justice was the top-ranked catcher out of high school in all of Oregon, the number 6 player overall in the state out of Summit High School. Highly touted prospect, hasn't seen much collegiate action. The 2-1 to Justice, fastball up and in, 3 balls and 1 strike. This one getting away from Menovar, struggling to locate strikes right now, Ethan.
Yeah, definitely. With this has been the theme of the inning, but he's been able to work through it for 2 outs, and time's running out for the Crawdads to take advantage.
Menovar looks to second. The 3-1 to Justice. Swinging a deep drive into left field. Degler from center is over, and he's got it. Crawdads strand 2 in the top of the 5th. We'll head to the bottom half of the frame. Menlo Park trying to extend the 4-run lead right after this. Welcome to the bottom of the 5th on the Walnut Creek streaming network. Menlo Park leads by 4 here in this bottom half of the 5th. Quincy Villa, James Bowes, Mitchell Birdsall, 2, 3, 4, 2 up. But there's a new man on the hill for Walnut Creek, Peter Storjahan, the 6'5", 230-pound righty from Danville. Storjahan's bounced around a couple of colleges, started at Diablo Valley where he was electric, earned himself a spot at UC Santa Barbara, but limited action there. He's transferring to UC Davis now. First offering to the righty Villa, popped up in foul territory towards first base. Ewan's coming over and puts it away. So now 1 pitch, 1 out. James Bowes trying to get something started for the Legends. Storjahan has been rather electric for Walnut Creek this year. 6 appearances, 0.96 ERA in 9 1/3 innings pitched. 12 strikeouts to 1 walk and 4 hits. This has been scoreless in his last 3 appearances. First offering to Bose. Runs inside, hits him on the fastball.
One quick out, and then just as quickly as the first out,
Now
the
batting for
Legends
the
get a runner on
Legends.
base.
Indeed, a 1-out base runner, and it's the
14.
cleanup man, Mitchell Birdsall, who struck out twice
Birdsall.
swinging against Olivas. Stoyahan only made 2 appearances at UCSB, both in 2024, and did not play this spring with a fractured clavicle. So spent time with Ray Olivas and Carson Timothy, the other University of Santa Barbara pitcher on the staff for the Crawdads. First offering from Stoyahan to Birdsall, in there for a strike at the knees.
I can't imagine that that's a fun injury to recover from.
No, not at all, but looks like he's recovering well, at least his first couple starts for Walnut Creek. The 0-1 slips past Justice. Bose will go to second on the wild pitch, and it'll be 1-1 at the plate to Birdsall. Stoyahan committed to UC Davis on June 24th. So he's been an Aggie for a couple of weeks now.
He joins a couple of other Aggies, quote unquote, on the Crawdads. However, those Aggies are spread out across multiple different schools that have taken that nickname.
1-1 to Birdsall, breaking ball in the heart of the plate, strike 2. You're absolutely right. Brandon Clisby and Braden Barnes, 2 New Mexico State guys, are technically Aggies. I do believe Aiden White, now at Amarillo College, will be an Aggie.
I think they're the Badger.
Unfortunately not. Here's the 1-2, swing and a miss. Stoyahan gets a bite on the slider. So Birdsall, 3 strikeouts swinging today. And now there's 2 down in the bottom of the 5th. Runner in
Now
scoring
batting for the
position for
Legends,
Will Anderson,
number
the first
25,
baseman.
First baseman Will Anderson.
Anderson, the first lefty that Stoyahan will face today. Has a 90-mile-an-hour fastball, slider, and a changeup. See how he uses those weapons on Anderson. First offering a fastball outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Stoyahan looks to Justice. Big righty sets below the belt. Long glance at second. Now the 1-0 comes home. Check swing on the slider. Home plate umpire Gus Cordova says he went. 1-1.
Yeah, we only have a 2-man umpiring crew today, so no one down the third base line to... I'm blind, never mind. Three-man umpiring crew.
There is Cade Hart over at first base as the 1-1 offering slapped over to Ewens at first base. He'll take it to the bag himself. Anderson retired on the ground ball. So 1 base runner allowed by Stoyahan in his first inning of work on the hit by pitch, but otherwise pretty spotless. Crawdads with another opportunity to cut into this 4-run deficit in the top of the 6th. We'll head there next, right after this. Welcome back to the Crawdad Streaming Network for the top of the 6th. Walnut Creek trying to cut into the 6-2 deficit against the Menlo
Leading
Park
off the top of
Legends.
the six for
New
the
arm for
Crawdads.
Menlo Park,
Number
Francisco
23,
Leja,
first
the
baseman,
right-hander from
John
Alvin
Ewing.
Community College. He's relieving Diego Menjivar. John Ewens will lead this off, 5-6-7 due up. Ewens potentially 2 singles on the day. Pratt taps 2 errors. He takes the first offering for a ball at the knees, 1-0. Either way, Ewens putting the ball in play. He's been effective at doing that as he rips one into right field, shallow base hit. And then right fielder struggles, he misses. Ewens going to second on the fielding error, so that one for sure a single, plus fielding error allows Ewens to go to second.
Now
Yeah,
batting for the
that ball
Crawdads.
just
Designated hitter number
came up
2,
and ate up the right fielder.
Ellis.
Indeed it did. So now a runner in scoring position for Ryan Ellis, a guy who's been aboard twice today for Walnut Creek. Walked in the second, singled in the fourth, also stole a bag. Ellis now we're in a 2-game hit streak, has hits in 3 of his last 4 games. The righty Leja sets first base side of the rubber, delivers a fastball outside, 1-0 to Ellis. Leja, native of Nuevo Leon, Mexico, making his 7th appearance for Menlo Park this summer. He's 0-2 with an 8.67 ERA. Leja glances to second, the 1-0 offering. Off speed at the knees, 1-1. They are 3 strikeouts, 2 walks this season, 15 hits allowed in 9 1/3 innings pitched for the Legends. The 1-1 to Ellis, driven high in the air to center field. Degler is there. One retired.
That pitch was a little high, but he went up and got it. Just
Now batting for the Crawdads.
couldn't find
Left
any
fielder
grass
number
out there
5,
in the outfield.
Cam
Yeah, nowhere to
Taylor.
put it. 1 down, still a man in scoring position for Cam Taylor, who's 0 for 2, but does have an RBI thanks to his ground out to first base in the 4th. Did score John Ewens, who's on board now in scoring position. Leja's first offering to the lefty, fastball fouled back, 0-1. Taylor, a guy who's also been a little streaky, to say, with the bat. When he's on, he's red hot, hits it really well. But putting the ball in play most of the time, it's whether or not he can get those to be hits. The 0-1 to him, swing and a miss.
Yeah, big swing there. Might have been trying to do a little bit more than just put it in play.
So now Taylor will have to protect with 2 strikes. Leja sets at the belly. Now the 0-2, fastball up and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Cam Taylor. Leja, 3 appearances at Alvin Community College, where he's a rising sophomore now. 1.5 ERA in 6 innings. Righty gets the call from Cohen's. The 1-2 to Taylor. Breaking ball loops below the knees. 2-2.
Good take there.
Taylor, a guy who's got a pretty good eye for the baseball, has good pitch recognition. He's told us on multiple occasions when he's waited in the on-deck circle what a pitch is. The 2-2. Breaking ball at the knees, tad inside, stuns Cam Taylor. He didn't think that was strike 3, but that's what it's called.
Yeah, and he joins what's becoming a handful of Crawdads that have had disagreements
Now batting for the
for
Crawdads.
home plate
Second
umpire
baseman, number
Gus
3,
Cardova.
Calvillo.
Absolutely, it's been a bit of a struggle at the dish for the Crawdads. First offering to Cam Calvillo, the new batter, popped up into shallow right field. Wilson trying to get there. He'll wave off the right fielder, will instead take it. So the Crawdads strand Ewens. And we'll head to the bottom of the 6th inning. Legends with another opportunity to extend the lead right after this. 1. Welcome back to the bottom of the 6th on the Walnut Creek streaming network. Legends lead by 4, trying to extend the lead here. As it's 6, 7, 8 due up Austin Rabago, Deuce Filter, Blake Cohens. All will get at bats against Peter Storjahan. Storjahan allowed just the one base runner last inning on the hit by pitch, but otherwise was pretty flawless. Pop out, a ground out, and a strikeout as he faces the lefty third baseman Rabago. Rabago 2 for 2 today, single in the second, and then a solo homer in the fourth. First offering to him, fastball at the knees, strike 1.
Yes, Peter Storjahan on the mound. He'll be trying to set Rabago down for the first time today, like you said.
Storjahan in a big spot for Walnut Creek. Kind of trying to hold Menlo scoreless as there's an off-speed pitch on the outer third, strike 2. Storjahan, no stranger to big moments. NorCal champion with De La Salle High School in 2022. Big righty readies, kicks and fires the 0-2 slider, swing and a miss. Rabago falls down as he swung through his shoes.
Sword.
Now batting for the
That was a
Legends,
nasty strikeout for Storjahan. One down now in the bottom of the 6th for Russell Filter. Filter, another guy who's had a productive day at the plate. 1 for 2 with a single. Storjahan sets. First offering to the righty, Filter. Check swing on a slider that runs outside. Appeal to first, says he went around. Home plate umpire originally wasn't going to go there, but Justice made sure that they asked first base umpire Cade Hart what he thought. Storjahan winds and deals the 0-1. Slider runs into the opposite batter's box. 1 ball and 1 strike to Filter.
Let's just check in the Joey Donnelly's resume. That would have been the year that the Storjahan won the championship with De La Salle. Would have been the year after Joey Donnelly graduated from the same school.
Indeed, so they did not overlap. As Storjahan fires another low slider for a strike. 1 and 2 to Filter. Righty kicks and deals, check swing, gets the foul ball, so they'll call it a strike, but that pass ball well away from Justice. Filter reaches.
So that'll be a strikeout, but for all intents and purposes, not really, because there's a runner on first.
Indeed there is. Only 1 out now. 1 aboard for Blake Cohens. Another guy who's 1 for 2, had an RBI single in the second. Cohens has been pretty good defensively at the backstop. Filter goes on the first offering. Justice with a throw in time. They catch Filter stealing.
Throw. I mean, just absolutely beautiful throw. And that's how you make up for for not being able to convert on strike 3. Throw him out on the base paths.
That's what Justice has been magnificent at. It will be called a ball at the plate. So it's 1-0 to Cohens, but now 2 down and no one aboard. Storjahan's 1-0 slider at the knees, strike 1. Cohens, a 2-game hit streak currently. Had one on Sunday against the Merchants and Saturday against the Seagulls. 2 for 5 weekend as he grounds the 1-1 over too short. Met him, collects the throw to Ewens in time. So the Crawdads C3, retire 3 technically, and will head to the top of the 7th where they get a chance to cut into the 4-0 deficit right after this. 1. Welcome to the top of the 7th here on the Crawdads Streaming Network. Walnut Creek up to bat, down by 4. 9-1-2, due up. Riley Leininger, Trey Johnson, Jared Medham. All face the righty Francisco Leja in his second inning of work. Allowed the leadoff single from John Ewens, but then induced 3 retirements, 2 fly balls, and a strikeout.
Yeah, settled in really nicely after that.
Leja's first offering to Leininger, fastball upstairs, 1-0. He's been able to paint the zone relatively well. Some balls in all these at-bats, but Crawdad hitters with their work cut out for them. Here's the 1-0, driven into right field. Fielder is there. 2 pitches, 1 out. Leininger has hit the ball well today, but has not been lucky enough to get a hit.
Center fielder number 16, Trey Johnson.
Yeah, he gave it a good ride, but not quite enough.
1 down in the top of the 7th for Trey Johnson. The center fielder is 1 for 3 today. Singled in the 5th. First offering to him. Breaking ball bounces at home plate. 1-0. Medham in the on-deck circle goes to recover it.
Puts it over to the Legends dugout.
The 1-0. Johnson drives this one high in the air, center field. Degler puts it away. So 2 deep flyouts for Walnut Creek. Looks like they're seeing it well. They're jumping early on Leja, but they haven't been able to get it down for a base hit yet. 2 down for Jared Medham, guy who's also 1 for 3, had a single in the first. Since then, a strikeout and a flyout. First offering, Medham lines this one into left field, and Villa with a diving effort to make the catch. 5 pitches, 3 outs for Francisco Leja. A dominant inning. Led to the bottom of the 7th, Menlo Park, still up by 4 right here on the Walnut Creek Streaming Network. Welcome to the bottom of the 7th on the Crawdad Streaming Network. 9-1-2 due up. Charlie Degler will lead off the inning. Peter Storjahan in his 3rd inning of work for Walnut Creek. It's been pretty spotless so far. No hits allowed in his appearance today. Just the 1 base runner. Or 2 technically, 1 on a hit by pitch, 1 on a dropped strike 3. Either way, the first offering to Degler outside, 1-0. Degler 1 for 2 today. 2 RBI single in the 2nd. The 1-0 to him, slider at the knees, strike 1. Storjahan, the big righty, kicks and fires. Another slider at the knees, strike 2 called. Degler's laid off, but now he has to protect with 2 strikes. University of Puget Sound man on a 3-game hit streak. The 1-2 to him. Off speed runs outside. 2-2.
Yeah, I was too far off the plate to be a competitive offering, but Storyhan's still in a good spot here. 2-2 count.
Worst case scenario kind of leaves him guessing on this one. Here's the 2-2. Fastball chopped foul just barely. Degler gets a piece and stays alive. Story of the day has been kind of inconsistency for Walnut Creek in terms of pitching and hitting. Other than the 5-run second inning from Olivas, Crawdads pitching has been pretty good. Only 2 runs allowed otherwise, as this one fouled back. Degler stays alive. And then on the hitting end, they've got 6 hits across 7, They've had hits in 5 of 7 innings where they've had at-bats, but they've only scored in 1 of them. That was in the 4th. Try to break the inconsistencies next time up. Here's the 2-2 from Storyhan. Fastball grounded over to second. Calvillo throws to first in time.
Yeah, Storyhan tried to make a play on that, stuck out his glove, but it went past him. Didn't matter, Calvillo was there. Really nice play.
Yeah, really great effort. Storyhan, even though he can't get there, and Calvillo does a nice job as the reinforcement. So now here's Will Robbins, who took over for Aaron Lewis in right field. Robbins listed as a catcher and a first baseman. Either way, the righty from Princeton takes the strike on the inner corner. Nice fastball from Storyhan, 0-1. Princeton, Robbins, a rising sophomore at Princeton, 12 games there this spring, 259 average. The 0-1 to him, swing and a miss. Slider gets a nasty bite as it breaks well into the low away corner. 0-2. Storyhan kicks and delivers. This one lined over to Leininger at third base. Makes literally one step, puts the glove up, puts it away. 2 down in the bottom of the 7th. Quincy Villa trying to get a 2-out rally going here for the Legends. Would love to add some more insurance, even though they're still up by 4. Villa 0 for 3 today. A pop out, a fly out, and a ground out. Storyhan's first offering to the righty shows bunt. Pulls it back as the slider breaks outside, 1-0. Temperatures cooling down, the wind picking up. Now 64 degrees. It was 70 at first pitch. 1-0 from Storyhan, bounces in front of home plate, 2-0. Via 3 seasons at Marymount University, 328 hitter in 100 games played. 68 runs batted in. On 25 extra base hits, the 2-0 fastball sits in the zone, strike 1. Via from Falls Church, Virginia. Spent 2 seasons playing varsity baseball at Lake Braddock High School. The 2-1 offering. Slider runs, catches the outside corner, 2-2 to Villa.
Yeah, nice pitch there. He's got himself back into the count after falling behind early.
Absolutely a magnificent recovery from Storyhan. Looks for the put away here on the 2-2, fouled back. Villa gets a piece of the slider, which has arguably been Storyhan's best pitch, Ethan. He pairs it really well off the low 90s heater.
Yeah, he mixes it well, and we've seen today and even prior to today, really, really effective on the bump.
The 2-2 once again from Storyhan. Slider runs away, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Villa being patient, protecting the plate well right now. Legends in a comfortable spot though. Here's the payoff from the righty. Fastball misses low. So the third base runner allowed on the day for Peter Storyhan. 2-out base runner for James Bowes, the shortstop in the 3 spot.
Only the second base runner that the Legends have managed to put against Peter Storyhan, and neither of them have come off of hits, a walk and a hit by pitch.
Yeah, Storyhan's done a really nice job as he has a battery conference with Zach Justice. The pair trying to strategize against Bose, one of the most dangerous hitters in the Menlo order. But Bose is 0 for 2 on the day, a strikeout, a flyout, and that aforementioned hit by pitch in the 5th. Storyhan glances to first. First pitch to Bose from the stretch. Slider runs low. 1-0. Now the 1-0 offering. Villa goes. Justice with the throw. The tag, not in time. So a stolen bag for Villa. Showcasing the speed in that one. It's now his 24th stolen bag of the season. Quincy Villa, a monster on the paths. Still 2-0 to Bose, as that delivery from Storyhan clips the outer third. 2-1. Bose 2 seasons at West Valley College. First team All-Conference in 2024. Second team All-State that year as well. As a sophomore, here's the 2-1 to him. Breaking ball outside. 3-1. Bose then transferred to Loyola Marymount, where he's seen plenty of action, but a bit of a slump this spring, only hitting 129 in 42 games. Much better here with Menlo. Here's the 3-1. Ball at the knees. Quincy Villa tries to catch over at third. The throw to Leininger pulls him off the bag. The tag looked like it was close, but umpire says safe. So now there's runners at the corners, 2 stolen bags for Villa, plus the walk to Bose. Cleanup man Mitchell Birdsall up, trying to get some more runs across. Storyhan has to be careful against the big righty. Now the umpires are going to confer as to whether or not Villa was actually out over at third, I think.
Yeah, the Crawdads dugout thought that the tag came down maybe on top of his helmet right before he got into the bag. Aiden White's giving his opinion on it, holding up the fist for an out.
So Constance Bardmuth, Cade Hart, and Gus Cardova having a chat towards the third base line. They'll confer, and the ruling still safe. Good throw from Justice and a good tag from Leininger, but they missed it by maybe a hair.
I mean, we keep talking about Zach Justice is, I mean, maybe the best defensive catcher we've seen in the CCL, and
Oh yeah,
you know, he threw out another guy. Wasn't meant to be, I suppose.
I suppose not. Storyhan kicks and fires the first offering to Birdsall. Check swing on the slider outside. 0-1. Nasty bite there. Birdsall rising redshirt junior in the portal after 2 seasons at San Jacinto. Here's the 0-1 to him. Fastball below the knees. 1-1. Storyhan still is not allowed a hit today. Trying to get through his 3rd inning of work now. The 1-1 to Birdsall. Slider misses away. 2-1. Storyhan frustrated with himself after that one. Danville native exhales, looks to first. The 2-1 comes home. Fastball down the middle, strike 2.
Nice pitch there.
Yeah, good recovery. Didn't try to do a whole lot, just stun Birdsall, who's been holding the bat. Now you put him in a spot where he needs to swing and protect. The 2-2 runner goes from first, swing and a miss. Storyhan gets the K on the slider. 2 runners stranded in the bottom of the 7th. Crawdads with 6 outs to get 4 runs here in San Mateo against the Menlo Park Legends. We'll have the first of those 3 right after this. We're back for the top of the 8th on the Walnut Creek streaming network. Crawdads down by 4, but it's the heart of the order due up. Joey Donnelly, Zach Justice, and John Ewens with a big opportunity to cut into the deficit. Crawdads have not beaten the Legends on the season. First played Menlo on June 18th right here in San Mateo, where they lost 7-8. They came back and scored 7 runs after being down by 6. Then Menlo walked it off in the bottom of the 9th. Then just last week on July 2nd, they scored 3. Then Menlo came back and beat them 5-4. First offering to Donnelly a strike, 0-1.
Might be a strike, but I have a pretty good feeling about this inning, Charlie. I mean, last time Donnelly let off a frame, he went over the wall.
Indeed he did. Leja's 0-1 offering, fastball runs up and away. 1-1 to Donnelly, the Crawdads' most dangerous hitter, statistically speaking at least. Leja's forced a lot of soft contact against the Crawdads. Trying to do that here, a 1-1 curveball outside. 2-1 to Donnelly, a guy who tends to be relatively aggressive at the plate. Likes to swing at the first offering he sees in the zone. Hasn't liked any of these pitches so far. The 2-1 from the righty. Breaking ball at the knees. Strike 2. Donnelly takes time. Clearly didn't agree with that.
Yeah, this has been a repeated thing. The zone has extended below the knees a little bit, and you know, you hear people say that as long as the zone is consistent, it's okay, but some frustration today for sure.
Leja kicks and fires the 2-2. Swing and a miss on the high cheese. Donnelly with some words for home plate umpire Gus Cardova after that one.
Now batting for the Crawdads, catcher number 26, Zach Justice.
1 down in the top of the 8th. Zach Justice is up.
Donnelly might have felt that he had to expand the zone after the generous strike call there and led to a strikeout.
Indeed, he probably did. Either way, breaking ball outside on Justice. 1-0. Justice and Ewens, the next 2 batters. Ellis in the hole after Ewens. The 1-0 to Justice. Up and in fastball. 2-0. Justice 0 for 3 today. 2 flyouts and a strikeout looking. Disagreed with that call as the zone expanded a little bit. The 2-0 from Leja, another up and in fastball. 3-0 to the catcher Zach Justice. Leja kicks and deals. Ball 4 upstairs. So 1 out walk for Zach Justice, his first time aboard today, and his 5th walk on the season.
John Ewens.
So now it's the red hot John Ewens, who arguably could have 3 singles today, Ethan.
Yeah, I'm gonna say he has 3 singles. I don't really care how the Menlo Park Legends are scoring it. In my book, he has 3 singles.
Agreed. 1 on the ground, 1 on the air missed as he belts the first offering he sees into mid-left field. The left fielder, Villa, can't get there. So Justice has to round third, and he'll be in there without a slide. Ewens with a big double there. I think technically Villa's glove might have hit it, so another questionable one as to whether or not that's a double or an error.
Yeah, I couldn't tell from my vantage point if it hit the glove. Did not hit the glove, we're being told, so double for John Ewens.
And what could be a 4-for-4 day for the big lefty.
Yeah.
Magnificent day he's having. Either way, it's Ryan Ellis with 2 runners in scoring position, 1 down for Walnut Creek, trying to cut in as they trail by 4. Ellis, another guy who's had a very productive day, 1 for 2, walk in a single. First offering from Leja to him, outside, 1-0. Righty Leja from the first base side of the rubber. 1-0 offering, another off-speed pitch outside. 2 balls and no strikes to Ryan Ellis, who's really turned it around. He's flashed the hit tool and the power this season for Walnut Creek. 11 RBIs, 4 extra base hits. 2-0 to the lefty. chopped foul on the first base side. 2-1. Ellis originally went to St. Mary's College out of high school. Native of Peoria, Arizona. Spent 3 seasons there, but dealt with a lot of injuries his last 2, including a redshirt season in 2023. Took his talents to UT Arlington, where he mashed 298 average in 54 games there. 30 runs batted in on 17 doubles. But did not play this spring. The 2-1 offering to Ellis. Off speed outside, 3 balls, 1 strike.
Didn't play, dealt with some injuries, got his degree, and is looking for somewhere to call home in the transfer portal currently.
He's got at least 1 year of eligibility left as he takes off speed and outside, ball 4. 2 walks for Ellis. He's been aboard 3 times now today. And with the bases juiced, it's Cam Taylor with just 1 out in the top of the 8th.
Now batting for the Crawdads.
A magnificently
Cam Taylor.
prime spot for Taylor to do some damage right now, and we're
Yeah.
going to get a mound visit here.
I mean, bases loaded. You got Cam Taylor at the plate, and with his power, you can kind of start to dream, Charlie. You don't want to get too far ahead of yourselves, but I'll say that you can start to dream.
Absolutely, Crawdads fans definitely waiting with anticipation at home, at least we would expect. Action in the Legends bullpen, a righty up and warming, throwing some pitches.
And, you know, unless Leha just simply can't find the zone, you would expect Taylor to get some pitches to hit here because you don't want to walk or run in.
Absolutely not. Taylor, a guy 0 for 3 today, potentially due for a hit here. Did drive in a run on a ground out to first base back in the 4th. Scored the last run for Walnut Creek. First offering to him, breaking ball below the knees, 1-0. Legends dugout clamoring. They thought that was strike 1.
Yeah, I mean, that's a spot that has been called a strike at sometimes today, but it goes the Crawdads' way on this occasion.
Leha kicks and fires. Taylor drives this one into shallow left field. That's a base hit. Justice scores from first. They'll hold Ewens at third. An RBI single for Cam Taylor, and the Crawdads trail 3 now.
Yeah, great piece of hitting there. Simple approach, taking it to the opposite field, not trying to do too much. Just pass the baton. Zach Justice, as you said, comes in to score. 3-run game.
Big stuff for Walnut Creek, and now a second mound visit for the Legends. We'll see if Leha will remain in. No, he will not. His day is done. So it'll be bases juiced, 1 out in the top of the 8th after the pitching change. We'll step aside real quick while the new guy warms up right after this. Welcome back to the Crawdads streaming network. New pitcher for Menlo Park, William Pyers, the right-hander from Manhattan College, native of nearby Atherton in the South Bay. Pyers, 4 appearances on the season in the CCL between 2 different teams. Appeared once for the San Francisco Seagulls and 3 times this season for Menlo Park, where he's 0-1 with a 4.9 ERA in 3 2/3 innings pitched. Bases loaded, 1 out here in the top of the 8th for Walnut Creek. Cam Calvillo up, second baseman for Walnut Creek, trying to get something going here. It's 0-for-3 today. Line out, a ground out, and a fly out. The righty Pyers kicks and deals. Slider outside, 1-0. Calvillo, the most veteran crawdad in the lineup today. Also on the entire roster. Playing in his 4th summer with Walnut Creek. 35 games last summer. The 1-0 from Pyers. Looping breaking ball below the knees, 2-0. Calvillo, rising senior at Cal State Northridge, 38 games this spring with the Matadors, hit .304, 18 runs batted in. 2-0 outside, 3 balls, no strikes, as the Crawdads thought that one was a balk. Pyers sets at the face. The 3-0 to Calvillo. Bounces in the dirt, ball 4. So the Crawdads walk a runner in, and now they only trail by 2. Base is still loaded for Riley Leininger.
Now batting for the Crawdads, third baseman number 11, Riley Leininger.
Walk on 4 pitches there. So, I mean, great news for the Crawdads.
Yeah, tax bullpen from Menlo. Trying to get out of this big jam here. Leininger talks with third base coach and head coach Brent Cummings for this one. Pyers yet to throw a strike. We'll see if Leininger's left-handed advantage against the right-handed pitcher makes a difference here. Leininger, the former Oklahoma man, steps in. First offering from Pyers. Off speed below the knees, 1-0. Leininger, a 2-time district MVP at Georgetown High School. Out there in the heart of Texas. The 1-0 to him. Breaking ball below the knees again. 2 balls and no strikes on Leininger, who redshirted this spring as a true freshman at Oklahoma. Looking to go to the portal, likely going to go to the junior college level in Texas. Ellis at third, Taylor at second, Calvillo at first. The 2-0 curveball clips the zone. 2 balls and 1 strike to Leininger. Will Pyers last pitched this Sunday against his former team, the Seagulls, when inning and a third, 2 hits, 1 earned run. Righty winds and deals the 2-1, breaking ball in the dirt, 3-1 count to Leininger. Pyers, a rising senior at Manhattan College. He's been up and down there. Righty, big look in, gets the call from Cohen's. The 3-1, breaking ball clips the upper part of the zone. Full count now to Leininger. Crawdads trailing by 2 here in the top of the 8th. Bases juiced, just 1 out. Would love to drive one in here. Pyers a big spot. The payoff to Leininger. Fouled off. Went with another off-speed pitch. Leininger gets a piece, stays alive.
Still a great hitters count. Great spot of the lineup for the Crawdads too.
Absolutely. Leininger would love to bust one through here. He's played in 21 games this summer for Walnut Creek. The payoff again from Pyers. Belted into shallow right field. A line drive base hit for Leininger. Ellis scores from third. They'll hold Taylor at first, and the Crawdads trail by just 1, 6-5.
This team, Charlie, this team has some great late fight.
Absolutely. Now we're going to get another mound visit for Menlo Park. Bases still loaded in the top of the 8th. 1 down as the lineup turns over. Trey Johnson up, 1 for 4 on the day.
That's what I was alluding to, Charlie. I mean, after that single, top of the lineup again. Trey Johnson, Jared Medham, Joey Donnelly, These are the guys that you want in the batter's box in this situation.
Absolutely, this is a prime spot for Walnut Creek. They've clawed their way back into this game.
Now batting for the
Down by
Crawdads,
4 entering this
center fielder
inning.
number
They've now
16,
scored
Trey
3
Johnson.
to bring it back within 1. RBI singles from Cam Taylor and Riley Landinger, plus Calvillo with an RBI walk. So now the lefty Johnson, an opportunity to deal some more damage. First offering to him, a breaking ball low and in. Ball 1. Johnson takes some half swings. Ready's in the left-handed batter's box. The 1-0 from Pyers. Curveball outside. 2 balls, no strikes. Johnson, 12 runs batted in for the Crawdads this summer in 16 games. He's got 2 in scoring position here. 2-0 fastball down the middle. Strike 1. First strike in a little while there from Pyers, who's been struggling to hit the zone. 6'3" righty collects. 2-1 from the first base side of the rubber. Another strike at the knees. Johnson clearly upset, shakes it off. He'll try to go to war again.
And again, we're seeing a low strike call that the Crawdads disagree with.
It's been the trend today. The 2-2 from Pyers. Swing and a miss. Johnson down on another fastball there. Still the bases loaded for Jared Medham in the 2 spot.
Shortstop number
2 outs
6,
here in the top of the 8th.
Jared
Crawdads
Medham.
still only down by 1. Medham 1 for 4 on the day. Since the single in the first, he's had a strikeout and 2 flyouts. Pyers first offering to him, a curveball in the heart of the zone, 0-1. Medham entered today struggling a bit. He only had 1 hit in his last 5 games, but has since turned the corner a little bit, especially in the first at-bat today. The 0-1 from Pyers, breaking ball in the dirt. 1-1 count to the righty Medham. In this spot, Ethan, probably just hold the bat until Pyers shows you something good, right?
You already have 1 strike against you. You can't be uber selective, in my opinion.
The 1-1, well outside, 2-1. Medham, no stranger to big at-bats, was a monster in the West Coast Conference tournament just a few months ago for St. Mary's. Had an average over 500 in that tourney. The 2-1, swing and a miss, a nasty breaking ball. Now 2-2, 2'd out. Bases still loaded in the top of the 8th. Crawdads trying to get another across and tie the game.
This is the biggest pitch of the game for both sides, Charlie.
Medham trying to add to his 13 RBI total here. Pyers kicks and deals. High fly ball, foul territory on the right side. The first baseman, Anderson, gets there. Crawdads get 3 across. Now they only trail by 1 heading into the bottom of the 8th. We'll have the Menlo Park Legends at-bats right after this on the Crawdads streaming network. Welcome back to the Crawdads Streaming Network for the bottom of the 8th inning. 5-6-7 due up for the Menlo Park
Leading off
Legends
the
as their lead
Saturday for the
has
Legends.
cut to just one after the
First
Crawdads
baseman
scored
number
3 in the
25,
last half inning.
Will Anderson.
Will Anderson, Austin Rabago, and Deuce Filter due up. They'll face the new man, Micah Billings for Walnut Creek. Guy who last pitched on Sunday against the Blues, went an inning and allowed 2 runs on 2 hits. Prior to that, he'd been spotless. His first offering to Anderson, breaking ball misses low, 1-0.
This is a part of the lineup, 5-6-7, that has caused some damage today. 4 hits between those 3 guys, and they've been some big ones.
Second offering, inside fastball, 2-0 to Anderson. Billings, a guy, spent 2 seasons at Laney College, earned himself a spot with Jackson State in the fall. 2-1 fastball, fouled back. 2 balls and 1 strike to Anderson, who's 1 for 3 on the day, a single in the second, but has been retired 2 straight times since then. Billings, his 5th appearance for Walnut Creek now, 4.90 ERA entering today. 2-1 to Anderson, fastball upstairs, 3-1. Billings, a high leverage guy at Laney College this spring, 12 appearances, 2-0, a 1.1 ERA. Here's the 3-1. Off-speed pitch locates upstairs, full count. Billings kicks and delivers the 3-1. Breaking ball belted into right field. Donnelly takes a couple steps forward and puts the glove on it. 1 retired in the bottom of the 8th.
Now
Brings
batting
up
for the
Austin
Legends.
Rabago, the 3rd baseman, who's 2 for 3 today. A single
Austin
and a home run.
Rabago.
Billings, the Union City native, definitely has his work cut out for him. Trying to get a couple more outs. Here's first offering, breaking ball low, 1-0. Billings, a guy who traditionally only really throws a fastball and a curveball. Does have a slider and a changeup, but extremely rarely uses them. 1-0 offering, fastball upstairs, 2 balls and no strikes on Rabago. Third baseman hit 244 in 17 games for the Legends. As that fastball from Billings upstairs, 3-0. Rabago, the Anaheim native, SoCal guy, working all the way up here in Menlo. The 3-0. Check swing on a breaking ball that clips the heart of the plate. 3-1.
Yeah, nice pitch there to find the zone and, try to crawl back into this at bat.
Billings delivers the 3-1 fastball grounded over too short. Medham collects, fields, and throws to Ewens in time. Now 2 down
batting
after
for
the
the
flyout
Legends.
and the 6-3 ground ball.
Second baseman number
Deuce Filter
34,
playing over at second
Deuce
base. The last man
Filter.
potentially in this inning for Menlo Park. The guy who's 1 for 3, technically has reached base twice on the dropped strike 3 in the 6th, but was later caught stealing. Billings' first pitch to the righty, fastball down the middle, strike 1. Billings has had a little bit of trouble locating, but overall, Ethan, he's been effective as he delivers the 0-2 breaking ball, strike 2.
Yeah, we're not seeing any of that wildness in this at bat, but before this one, for sure. But we can call it effectively wild.
The 0-2 from Billings, looking for a put away. Strike 3 called on the breaking ball. Filter knew it immediately as he trotted towards the dugout. So now we'll go to the top of the 9th. It's the last chance for Walnut Creek, down by 1. We'll have that action right here on the Walnut Creek Streaming Network.
Bidding off the top
Welcome
10
back to the
for the
top of the ninth
Crawdads.
here on the Walnut
Check
Creek
fielder
Streaming
number 4,
Network. Crawdads up to bat,
Joey
trailing just
Donnelly.
one, and it's the heart of the order due up. Joey Donnelly, Zach Justice, John Ewens, 3-4-5 against Will Pyers, who came in relief of Francisco Leja and allowed a walk and a single, 2 runs scored. With them credited to Lehia as he had loaded the bases, but still with his work cut out for him. He's throwing a lot of balls. Righty's first offering to Donnelly, breaking ball low and in. 1-0 to the veteran Crawdad hitter. Donnelly 1 for 3 today, a homer in the 4th, hit by a pitch in the 5th. The 1-0 to the lefty, swing and a miss. Nice off-speed pitch down the middle.
Yeah, Donnelly just out in front of that one. Misread it.
Now the lefty, chance to recover here. Pyers delivers the 1-1, breaking ball outside. 2 balls and 1 strike to Donnelly, who went on an absolute tear a couple weeks ago. Was a candidate for CCL Player of the Week, and then prior to his visit to Fordham, was 7 for 9 in 2 games as he grounds one softly over to second. Filter collects, throws to Pyers covering the bag, and he's out.
There was some miscommunication there. The Legends first baseman, William Anderson, he came off the bag there, and William Pyers had to cover, but they were both near each other. It was, maybe a little confusing who Filter was throwing to, but Pyers was able to catch the ball and get his foot on the bag just before Joey Donnelly got there.
Indeed he was. So now it's Zach Justice working with 1 out in the top of the 9th. Pyers first offering to him, breaking ball low and away. 1-0 to Justice. Just reached base once on a walk in the 8th. 0 for 3 on the day. The 1-0 from Pyers. Curveball clips the outer third, 1-1. Justice scales the back of the right-handed batter's box. Sets with the bat above his shoulder. The 1-1 from Pyers. Curveball bounces 4 feet in front of home plate.
Yeah, that wasn't close.
Not at all. So it makes it 2-1 to Zach Justice. Crawdad backstop has been elite defensively today, trying to get the offense going as well. The 2-1 from Pyers. Swings and fouls the curveball over to the right side, out of play. 2-2. Pyers has since settled down after the 2 runs came across on his watch. He's retired 3 straight Crawdads. You got Trey Johnson on the K, then a pop out for Medham, and then the Donnelly ground out just moments ago. Now it's 2-2 to Justice. Pyers delivers, breaking ball in the dirt, full count. Crawdad's catcher in the cleanup spot. Justice recently committed to San Diego State. We'll try to vie for the top catcher spot. Swing and a miss, breaking ball outside. Crawdads down to their final out.
That was a nasty pitch there.
First baseman number 23.
Absolutely,
John
Pyers
Ewens.
has done a really nice job settling in. It's now apparent why that the Legends have trusted him in this spot. So here's John Ewens, who's got at least 3 hits on the day, a couple of doubles or 1 double and a couple of singles. First offering to him, check swing, he went around.
Yeah, I mean, no matter how you want to rule that one contentious base knock, he hasn't been out today.
The 0-1 curveball down the middle. 0-2 to Ewens. He's looking for a pitch he likes here, but now with 2 strikes, have to protect. Pyers trying to put this one away. Here's the 0-2. Breaking ball below the knees. Ball 1.
That is a pitch that Gus Cardova has called a strike many times today, but
like
not on that occasion.
Yeah, he's firmed up the bottom of the plate so far. The 0-2, swing and a miss. A disgusting curveball. Bounces low. The Legends escape the jam, strand the bases loaded in the top of the 8th, and then get the Crawdads on 2 straight strikeouts to end the 9th. And now they've won 3 straight games over Walnut Creek. Menlo 12-15 now on the season. The Crawdads 14-10. Walnut Creek will be back in action tomorrow at home against the Sonoma Stompers. Then they have Thursday off for traveling to Sonoma again on Friday to play them. Then it's the Merchants on Saturday and the Legends again Sunday and Monday. So big week for Walnut Creek. Start this one off with an L in CCL play. So thank you everybody so much for tuning in here on this one. For Ethan Ignatovsky, Charlie Limoncelli signing off. We'll see you all tomorrow, 4 p.m. for the next one.